Everyone loves a good roguelike video game. I used to think I didn't like them. I thought they were a waste of time. I mean, who would want to play a game where after just one death, you have to restart from the very beginning? Honestly, I still kind of hate the thought of that, but most of the best roguelikes make restarting a lot of fun. Binding of Isaac lets you unlock new items and characters. Hades lets you upgrade your guy and unlock new weapons and trinkets. For me, the joy of a roguelike comes from these little upgrades you get after restarting the game that make the game easier and a lot more fun. You can almost think of it as prestiging in Call of Duty or something like that. Okay, it's been 3 paragraphs and I haven't even mentioned the game we're here for yet. Although I will make videos on Isaac and Hades in the future, the first roguelike I want to talk about is Risk of Rain. Specifically, number 2, where it makes the jump into 3D. I can't even name another 3D roguelike besides like Immortal Redneck, and I haven't even played that one. I just thought it had a funny name. A lot of the top roguelikes are of course in 2D or a deck builder of some sort, so it's really fun to see another subgenre like this. There's so much I could say about this game. It has a ton going for it. The cast of playable characters is huge, but you have to unlock most of these guys. At the start, you only get these 2, and the general consensus is that this character is the best in the game, and this one is the worst in the game. More on that later. First thing you do is land on this planet and hop out of your landing pod. You can land on a couple different planets randomly, but either way, you'll be fighting just mostly lizards, these things, floating skulls, and the guardians from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Killing these monsters gives you money, which you can then open containers and get a random item that enhances your character. Sometimes it's totally worthless, like the squid turret, and sometimes it's the crowbar. Probably the best part of collecting the items is that your guy will actually wear them. Some of them look really cool, and some of them are just silly. When you've collected a satisfying amount of items, you must fight the boss of the world, called the teleporter event. These fights can be pretty easy, but sometimes they are just straight up run killers. Beating the boss guarantees you an item drop unless you access the next world. Repeat killing monsters, grabbing items, and slaying the boss, and you have yourself the basic gameplay loop of Risk of Rain 2. The music goes hard, and I know I tend to compliment the music in most of the games I make videos about, but just listen to this. It has no right to go this hard. Actually, there's some pretty chill moments, and the background track is just going crazy. At the end of the gameplay loop is the final stage where you run a marathon. After your cross-country practice, you have to complete 4 little challenges while fighting the most annoying enemies in the game. Survive that and you can fight the final boss. His attacks are pretty easy to predict. Having a double jump or 2 makes it a lot easier. Now, he does a lot of damage, so one mistake could potentially end the whole run. When you finally get that health bar low, he activates phase 2 and literally takes every single item you collected and powered yourself up with. This actually isn't too bad because you just get it all back when you attack him, and I think it's just more for like show, like it's like to be dramatic. After killing him, the whole planet is set to explode, and now you do another half marathon back to your ship while avoiding creatures that launch black holes at you. Bam, fly away, and you've beaten Risk of Rain 2. Honestly, it's not so bad. I find it more fun to fight 2 of the final bosses at the same time. Occasionally, your normal gameplay will be interrupted by a special colored portal that'll take you to a secret boss or a special world. But good luck figuring any of that out without a guide. What's easier than that stuff though is unlocking new characters that have different abilities besides just shoot arrow. The bandit is really easy, as you don't even have to beat the game, you just have to get through 3 stages and he's yours. This brave little toaster character is unlocked by beating the first teleporter event a couple times, so it does require multiple playthroughs, but it's fairly simple. One of those special worlds I mentioned before is a bazaar, where you can purchase items and also a new character. Then there's Acrid, a poison dinosaur who can only be unlocked by completing the secret level underneath the bazaar. Down here leads to the Void Fields, where you have to complete 9 challenges in a row, and the whole time you are taking damage over time, so good luck. After completing it, you unlock Acrid, and it's worth it because instead of landing in a landing pod at the beginning of a run, you instead just wake up off the ground. That's so cool. Now, there's a lot of different people in the world with a lot of different opinions. In my opinion, by far, the best character in this game is the Captain. Simply beat the final boss 1 time to unlock him. He comes with this passive ability that blocks all incoming projectiles automatically. That means that any enemy that does ranged damage is now completely harmless. Not only that, but this passive is also given to any turrets or drones you activate. So the strat is to get to this level as the Captain, save up $1 billion, and purchase this attack helicopter. This thing outputs massive damage and can't be damaged by melee monsters since it flies, and now can't be hurt by ranged damage because of the passive. So as long as you play defensively, you are guaranteed a win pretty much. Similarly to the Captain, there is the Engineer. And I only say similarly because the Engineer also passes on his passives to the turrets that he can spawn in. So for example, I got the meat hook in this run, and now both of my turrets have little meat claws hanging off of them and everything else I've collected. It's pretty cool. By far the hardest character to unlock is Rex, a half plant, half robot crab spider thing. To unlock him takes an extraordinary amount of Googling how to unlock Rex ROR2. To get Rex, you need to start a run as any character who lands in a landing pod. Then at the start, you need to grab the battery from the back of your drop pod. This is a fuel array. What's so special about this fuel array is that if you ever fall below 50% health, the battery explodes and instantly kills you. So what do you do with this battery? You need to escort it all the way to the 4th stage called Abyssal Depths without the battery exploding. Sounds nice and simple, right? Wrong! Don't forget that each stage can be a different area. The 4th stage could also be Sundered Grove or Siren's Call. And if it is one of those 2 stages, then you can't unlock the character and you have to restart. If you do hit the 1/3 chance jackpot, your adventure isn't over yet. Now you must search the multi-layered level for the randomly spawning Rex-shaped dead robot. After finding him, just shove that battery right up his photosynthesis and boom, new character unlocked. Oh, there's also this Exodia type character where if you collect all of the pieces of him, you will turn into this bird creature called the Heretic. It takes a different level of commitment, as turning into this character replaces all of your abilities with his abilities. And he honestly costs a lot of lunar coins if you're trying to refresh the shop and find all of his pieces from the little shop thing. But hey, look, we managed to do it. He kind of sucks because like all the items you collect don't actually, they're not on his body like they're on everyone else's body. So it's like, you know, whatever, it's whatever. Like all roguelikes, the builds you can assemble can get crazy. The amount of clutter on the screen is so fun to look at. You can unlock these relics that let you adjust the game a little, like this one that lets you pick out any item you want specifically. So just get 10 crowbars and you're good. The thing that sets apart roguelikes from your typical RPG or Souls-like is that in those games, you can get an item and it says something like plus 0.05% crit rate, also does not stack with any other buff at all. And it's like, that is so minuscule that it doesn't even matter. But in Risk of Rain, buffs are massive. massive and they stack when you get multiple of the same item. So all you need to one-shot most bosses is 4 of these and 7 of these. A good combo I like with the relics is this one that makes all enemies elite monsters. Basically just stronger monsters with more health or shield or elemental powers. But then I combine it with the pick your own items and stack only guillotines, which automatically kills elite monsters at low health. The more guillotines you have, the sooner the monster dies. All the characters I mentioned already also have unlockable movesets as well. You unlock the new moves by completing really tough challenges, which also happen to be Steam achievements, so 2 birds with 1 stone there. The Huntress specifically has one for carrying 12 crowbars at once, which unlocks a blink ability. Another one for the Huntress specifically took me so long to get, and my god, I never want to do it again. To unlock Ballista, you have to complete the 2nd stage in a run without taking any damage at all. Actually, what it specifically says is that your HP cannot fall under 100%. So the strategy here is to collect the items that give you a shield, which lets you take damage without having your HP fall. Also, since we're talking about the Huntress, we all consider her to be the best because she has auto aim. And I said I would talk about him later, but I pretty much forgot about him. This guy, the Commando, who you get at the beginning of the game, is so freaking bad. He is, dude, I've never done a run with him before, and I did one with him for this video, and he's terrible. Like, he is so bad. I don't understand. He has shoot gun, and his special ability is shoot gun. I can't. Anyways, the whole reason you're here is to answer a distress call, but after killing Mildred, the entire moon blows up anyways. So, that's cool, I guess.